This afternoon, our topic will be music and spirituality. I think everyone can relate to a time when music has moved you into tears, into joy, and maybe to just be emo. So, but I guess the question is, if music touches the heart, what is the link between music and spirituality? As a matter of fact, Johann Sebastian Bach said that, I play the notes as they are written, but it is God who makes the music. And then the renowned Spanish cellist Pablo Casal says, music is a divine way to tell beautiful, poetic things to the heart. So this afternoon, our guest speaker is known to be the karaoke priest. So music is in his system. And not only is he a singing priest, in his past life he also was a disc jockey for a number of years. So he doesn't only have a good singing voice, but also a good modulated speaking voice. Looking at his experience, ang dami niyang experience, he finished BS Architecture, completed his master's degree in Development Communications from the University of the Philippines, and now works as a consultant. He's on a personal study leave, and works as a consultant and director in a pharmaceutical company, where he regularly gives lectures on corporate values formation to various private institutions here in Manila. He is from the city of our president, Davao City. And so let's all give him a warm welcome, the karaoke priest who will sing and speak to us today, Father Gil Peter Coching, SVD.
Thank you, and good afternoon. And I hope you're doing good. It's been quite a while that I've been here. You mentioned 35th. I was here previously, lunch and learn. What number was that? One? I was number one? And this is 30. Oh my gosh, man. Let's not count the years, all right? Right? Be kind. Yeah. But anyway, thank you very much. It's been quite a while, really. And I have observed that you have moved into a bigger mansion. Is it because of the change? Change is coming? Really? This is part of it? Wow, you have elevated yourselves spiritually. And I have seen some of you, quite a lot of faces are familiar. You have really grown spiritually. I didn't say anything. I said spiritually. I can sense that. I can see your smiles. Yes. Sige, medyo na kanina yung introduction. I've been through a lot of things in life, and these days, just to continue the mission of making a difference in our world, and we put our talents into one. And so, yeah, music and spirituality, as you can read in the screen, Ludwig van Beethoven, music is a mediator between the spiritual and sensual life. Let us begin with a simple worship prayer. You know this song? I always hear this on the weddings. But the words will speak for itself. And let us worship God using these words. You are the air I need to breathe, river of life inside of me. You are the half that made me whole. You are the anchor of my soul. And you are strong when I am weak. You are the words when I can't speak. You never fail to see me through. That's the love I found in you. You are my shelter from a storm. You are the road that leads me home. And with you here face to face, oh, I know I found my place. And you are strong when I am weak. You are the words when I can't speak. You never fail to say see me through. That's the love I found in you. Once in every life, you find the woman that's right, and the one you say forever, and it's true, and that's the love I found in you. And you are strong when I am weak. You are the words when I can't speak. You never fail to see me through. That's the love I found in you. And that's the love I found in you. And yes, Lord, that's the love we find in you. It's the love that is endless. It is the love that delivers. It is a love that combines. A love that gives us strength. A love that forgives. A love that's so merciful and compassionate. That song was popularized and composed by, you remember the composer, the singer? And in many of his CDs, you can hear that song in many ways. Yeah, Jim Brickman. And in many ways, that's been played all over again and all over in many ways on radio stations. It was mentioned a while ago that I've been a disc jockey. Yeah. Quite a long time. The older version of Love Radio, where DJs were supposed to speak in English, not the generation today. And the reason why I have to bring this out because na-mention kanina pag nagmimisa ako before. When I have my mass, I always have one song. The song that you heard was part of the masses that I had before. I always put it on the laptop. I set up a big screen and a sound system. That's why napapansin ng mga tao, sinong magmimisa ngayon? What they do, they look at the floor and they see a laptop and they see the screen. Ang tawag na sa akin marami, si Father PowerPoint. Ako na yan. Si Father Karaoke. Kasi bakit? Pagkatapos ng homily, kakanta tayo. And they come. And the point is, I tell you, from the point of view of this jockey, the Philippines, our audience in broadcast, lalo na pag weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's basically the hit back side. Have you noticed? Drive your car. Puro laid back side. And I tell you, I jumped into that strategy. If I would bring in the faithful, there should be something that they would remember. There's what we call musical memory template. What is a musical memory template? If you talk to your son and say, son, come on, jamming tayo. Siguro your son will say, Dad? And then you say, son, here's my song, my CD, my USB. And your son might not like it because wala sa kanyang musical memory template. Here's my point. If you keep on clashing with your children about music, you don't like their music, they don't like yours, it's a simple answer. I will give you an example before I give the answer. Ganito lang yan. Once upon a time, I officiated a wedding anniversary, and the couple was there. And they were quite senior in years. And they told me, Father, our lead wedding singer is our young son, 12 years old. 12 years old, huh? Wedding anniversary, they're an old couple, wedding singer, 12 years old. I was so surprised, he sang a song that's been in the ages. A song that goes somehow like this. You ask how much I love you, must I explain? The title of the song is Until the 12th of Never, and that's a long, long time. Until a 12-year-old song, singing that song, it's never even played on the radios even. I asked them, what happened to your son? Did you brainwash him to sing that song? They said, no. Kinausap ko yung anak, 12 years old. Ito yung kwento ng 12 years old. Father, I memorized all those songs. Why? si Engelbert Humperdinck. You know why? 12 years old? Father, ganito yan. Noon kasi, yung bata pa ako, pag umuwi si mami at daddy, nag-aaway sa kwarto. At ayaw na ayaw kong marinig, nagagalit rin ako. So tatlo na sila nag-aaway because they're fighting. And so what the couple did, doon ka muna sa sala. And then the dad would play a CD. Play the CD as loud as it can be because why? What they're doing? They're quarreling inside the room. The son keeps on remembering. Pag alam niya play the CD, he knows that the husband and wife, his mom and dad, are fighting. That came into his senses and it became part of him. Here's my point. It was embedded in the musical memory template of the son. And so if you want peace in the house, try to discuss, anak, anong music natin ngayon? Subukan mo ito. You might like it. And the car, just give them an experience. It's more of the experience, and that, I tell you, is very relevant in history. Come to think of it. The Tibetan temples, tones of F, F sharp, and A, Om. If you visit temples, the Buddhist temples, you will hear this A-U-M sung this way. That tune, brothers and sisters, is holy for them. And you cannot discard that. But if you enter a temple and you hear prolonged as it can be in the Malaysian territory, in the Tibetan hills, even the bells, the chime of the bells sounds like it. That for them is sacred. Similar to the Christian grand Amen. If you hear an Amen, if you're Christian and Catholic, you know that, oh, God is present. And for others who are not related to that, it is different. That's what they call the musical template. But then I tell you, in this page, it begins with, can you read together? An encounter of a deeper meaning. Let me put this in context. An encounter of a deeper meaning. I hope and pray that when you have your lunch and learn, it is not just about musical analysis and criticism and appreciation. I hope it brings together, eto, in every lunch and learn, let it be an encounter of a deeper meaning that you understand yourself even better. Here's one time. I was a DJ. I was on a weekend job. I was on a Sunday weekend playlist. Ang oras na yun is a dead hour, dead unholy hour, 12 to 3. Ako yung DJ. I was playing love songs. And then after 3 o'clock, when I was saying goodbye on air, a car pulled over and a young man hurried up the station and he was crying. And he said, "Sir, I heard you play that song an hour ago." And I realized that young man was about to commit suicide. He was brokenhearted, too many problems. But then I introduced a song. I played a song and I introduced the lyrics, how it was written, what it meant, and the boy listened to that, and then he turned back his car. Instead of killing himself, he said to me, "Somehow I have found a connection in what you said." And then, what happened? It ended up into a counseling session. That encounter turned out positively. The point, again, here is that if you communicate this, the deep meaning, it changes. Another historical event in life. African women, when they get pregnant and they deliver the baby, they sing to the baby. Every boy born in an African village, in this tribe, is given a particular song, unique to the child. So everyone has got one song as they grow. When they grow, when they get into adulthood, and when they die, gathering around the community, they sing a song for the departed. Now, itong interesting. Now, listen to this. What if the boy does something wrong? In his naughtiness, he did something a little bit so bad that everybody disagrees of that stupid or negative act. You know what they do? They call the boy because he did something so bad, so naughty, so something out of this world. So they call the boy and they gather around the boy. And you know what they do? They sing him his song. The point here is that music for them, instead of punishment, the music is all about love and remembrance of identity. And so my wish to you, whatever songs in your iPads are, I'm sure you get your music, right? I'm sure you got your classical, your Beethoven, your rock, your ages rock, and your other rock-solid bands in your iPod. In this context, I hope if it brings forth down a meaning, it will be love and remembrance of identity. And so, let me go back to that boy, yung nag-suicide. Sana, muntik na siyang, sabi niya, alam mo bro, I almost went down that cliff, and that was in Cebu. And because you mentioned something about God in that song, and then he turned back. And driving alone in the car, he said, it really makes sense. And so he shared this to me. This was shared to me a long time ago on a piece of paper. I wrote it on my laptop because I remembered him rescued by a song. Alone with God, for him, it's like this. He wrote this. Alone, let's read together. Attentive and abiding in the Spirit. Life of overflowing blessings, nourished by the Eucharist. Altar boy kasi yung taong yun, yung batang yun. And the moment he wrote this down and told me, bro, thank you very much. At the time when I needed somebody to change my life, that music was there. You were there. And so, in addition, after he wrote the note, personal note, the negative side is alone away from God. Now we read together. Alienated and lonely, lustful, living negatively empty lives. That is the opposite of being alone with God and being alone away from God. Scripture says, can we read together your Bible? For God did not give us the spirit of cowardice, but rather of power and love and self-control. So, do not be ashamed of your testimony to our Lord. And here's my point about this, guys. Let your music reverberate. In any kind of form of music, whether it be Christian or pop, I tell you, if that meaning is about the presence, live it. And let this encounter be a deeper meaning for all of us. You know the song that the boy listened to? This is the song. Reflect on this. It's a beautiful song. And I hope we find meaning in this song. Put some prayer into this. This was composed and popularized by Simon and Garfunkel. And so if you listen to the words, it will really make sense. Put God into it, and it gives you the best words of life and assurance. Let's listen to it again. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are raining your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the streets, when evening falls, it's so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your heart. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. you cannot find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else. That is Martin Gaye. I did not quote the saints. Because if you quote the saints, they are good. But in the world that not even the saints can touch, we need to go further. There are people, there are cultures that we can learn from them. I did not include a Christian song because I think that naturally the music that we have is God-given, God-generated. I mentioned kanina an encounter of deeper meaning. Here's the last point. Find a mission of higher purpose. I mentioned to you kanina, the introduction, that I work in a pharma industry. I meet a lot of people in the medical field. A doctor gave me a trivia. Sabi ng doctor, Peter, come here. I have a trivia. Think. And the doctor asked me a question. Are you sure you're going to record this? Okay. Then the doctor asked me a question. Okay. Peter, guess what? Here's the question. Which part, or what part of the human body, if you get so excited, it grows 10 times over? Starts with the letter P. You have a default answer. You have a default answer. You have a default answer. Are you sure you're going to record this? And so the doctor was smiling at me because I was smiling, and he said, Peter, come on, don't be shy. Say it to me again. You have heard me clear. Which part of the human body, if it gets so excited, it grows 10 times as large? Starts with the letter P. And as I was about to say my default answer, he said, it takes you too long. Okay, sabihin ko na sa'yo, it's the pupil. See? Automatic default answer, we smile. Ano ba yung default answer? You're smiling at me because you're guessing. It's so embarrassing if I would say it. Are you sure I want to say it? Can I say it? My default answer? It's so embarrassing, really. If I would say, that's on YouTube, right? But anyway, I have to say it. I'm not afraid. It's embarrassing, but I was thinking, Doc, sorry, may iba akong letter B, iniisip. You mentioned growing in it's the pancreas. So, see? I tell you. See, I just did that. So what's the point here? Well, the point here is that, sabi nga sa communications theory, meaning is the receiver. So if you want to be an effective lover, don't give two-edged meanings in many ways. Go direct to the point. God is always like that. He doesn't give two-edged meanings. Two good points that I would want you to bring outside. Music and spirituality is all about encounter and higher purpose. So once upon a time, there was an angel. Maybe you've heard of the story. The angel was sent by God to this couple because this couple celebrating their 60th birthday, two of them are so good in the eyes of God, and God said, angel, tell them, what one wish would you want to happen today, and I will give it to you for free. And the girl, the woman, the 60-year-old woman said, angel, for once I'm 60 years old again, let me experience our first honeymoon. Let me experience going on trips, first-class accommodation, first-class flights, and all 5-star hotels, 7-star hotel in all the world, and there, voila, one wish granted, everything, money, global journey. Oh, she was happy. And the man said, angel, can I talk to you? And so the guy, 60 years old, told the angel, angel, you mentioned that anything in our wildest dreams. And the angel said, wild as it may be, it will be granted to you because God find you worthy of this gift. And the man whispered, and I will whisper it to you. And the man whispered, angel, if this is my last wish, to be happy. Now, my wish is, I want to sleep with a woman 30 years younger than I am. That's my wish. Oh, the angel smiled and said, 30 years younger than you are? He made him 90 years old. Do the math. He sleeps with his wife 30 years younger than him. What's my point here? Be careful of what you ask for. God will always respond. But when God responds to your prayers, it will be according to His way, His will. His ways are higher than ours. And in many ways, God answers prayers. It's there. So, brothers and sisters, what's the point? Again, do not give double-edged meaning in your prayer. Point it out. Lord, if it's for my own good, grant it to me. Read together. Until you make the unconscious conscious, It will direct your life and you will call it faith, Carl Jung. The reason why I have to get into this, here's an activity. I'll go to this fast. You've gone through this when you were employed. Now let's go to this fast, choose a color. It's basically the color energies. Are you cold blue, fiery red, sunshine yellow? And the reason for that, the meaning? If you pick a color, you belong to the red. You're competitive, demanding, determined, strong-willed, purposeful. What about if you're blue? Cautious, precise, deliberate, questioning, formal. And if you are earth green, you're caring, encouraging, sharing, patient, relaxed. And sunshine yellow, the sociable, dynamic, demonstrative, enthusiastic, persuasive. Few seconds, come on, activity only. Put it into your heart. Which color grabs you? Personality-wise, you belong to which color? Now, if you have, whisper it to your seatmate. Okay? Just whisper it. Whisper in your lap. Which color are you? Fiery red, cool blue, earth green, sunshine yellow. You have a color? Can you show me a little hands? Okay, red. Those who are belonging to the red, fiery red. Oh, thank you for raising your hands. Very good, sir. There are quite a few always. Cool blue. Cool blue. Quite a good number. What about earth green? Oh, mas marami earth green. What about sunshine yellow? That's very jolly. Quite a good number. Thank you for raising your hands. But if you look at the screen, that's on a good day. There's a bad day for these colors. Extreme side. What's your color? Extreme side. Here goes. Aggressive, controlling, priding, overbearing, intolerant. Blue, stuffy, decisive, suspicious, cold, reserved. Green, docile, bland, plodding, reliant, stubborn. Sunshine yellow, excitable, frantic, that's on the extreme side. Not really bad side, but extreme. Now here's the challenge. Pag pinagsabay mo yan sa elevator, what happens? Let's go. If you meet a cool blue guy in the elevator, mentally calculates combined weight of all passengers and compares maximum weight restrictions and wait for the next trip. Yan sila. They are so magalang. So HR, if you notice these people always late, forgive them. Okay? They will always give their space. That's who they are. Those of you who raised daming green, the green people actually uses the open door button to help others get in. You see how gentle these people are? You see how would you agree some ways? Yeah, you can see you smile. Now, this is so interesting. Put the yellow people, and this is what they do. Seize elevator as opportunity to catch up and chat with people. May hold door open to finish conversations with people on other floors. Uy, mali ba, huwag mo na i-close. Nag-uusap kami. Hindi, mali naman ang hot. That's who they are. Okay, you find them. You find them? Yeah, right? You hear? I thought yung the red people, go straight to the elevator and presses the red button. Kahit nakasindi na yung red button. What's the red button? Kung meron pang button, they will keep on red button. And they know the button has been pressed already. Why did I lead you into this? Guys, you are leaders. Wow, this is the 35th class. 35 times you've been here. Okay, what have we been learning? Guys, when you lead, there are people, another combination of colors. And I tell you, the whole leadership and the Christendom, when the apostles were asked to lead, can you imagine? Jesus would have to confront somebody who said, I love you, Lord, 3 times. And Jesus said, wait, you love me 3 times? You will deny me 3 times. Who said that? Yes. And somebody said, Lord? Si Lord buhay? I don't think he's alive. Unless I touch the wood at his side, I will believe Jesus is alive. Who was that? Thomas, doubting. There was the unbelieving. There was somebody even said, okay, let's sell this information to the Romans, 30 pieces of silver. I'll tell you where Jesus is at the same time. That is. And in many ways, we lead ourselves to understand others, us, and to take action. Because in the reality, the next group of Christians and the next group of employees, 2020, 5 generations. And that requires generational intelligence. The next HR interview will be interviewing Generation Z. Tapos na yung Generation X. Not unless you know deeper. Again, is the mission and higher purpose. This is LC Gratch's compound, Alabang. We went there last week. It's part of our corporate social responsibility of our pharma company. When you enter the compound, you will see old women smiling always, happy, without slippers. Not because they don't have slippers, but they choose to, not to wear. They're happy, they will smile, they will kiss you, they will hug you. And in many ways, that's Elsie Gatch's compound. We were talking to this kid. He cannot say words. All he can say is, oh, akala ko umiyak. And he was talking already. And when you say, guapo, tell him, oy, ambo, ang guapo mo. That's his smile. That's already his smile. He's beyond, it looks like a cage. That's all of us at the other side. That's the Elsie Gatch's compound. They only need your care. But once they are given attention and love, it brings the life out of them. That's part of our team, my office mates at Pharma. They are what, middle 20s, teenagers, but many of them cannot move, cannot do, cannot eat with their own hands. And whatever music that they hear, they jump for joy. No matter what kind of happy music, they will just express, finding reason to express. That's all of them. Tulad itong game, the boat is sinking, and the Jollibee crew says, the boat is sinking, group yourselves into four. Actually, as the person is hugged, they will just get magnetized. They just want to hug. And when the MC said, group yourselves into six, this group is five, this group is two. And when the MC said, no, I said six, this is five, this is two. And the MC said, no, I will divide you, one of you will have to go here. Nang inaway nila yung MC. Sa kanila panalo sila. They don't want to disperse. They just want to hug. They just want to hug. They just want to hug. And what is the point here? And if we've been here 35 times listening to Lunch and Learn, how deep has the conversation with our soul been? This guy wanting to drink Coke, every time he takes a cup, I took all these pictures myself, takes the Coke, swallows the Coke, he does this all the time, smile. And that's his routine. He did that for 25 times. I just took one series of it. You find about Elsie Gatch's compound, and the winner was this person with the Down syndrome. Jollibee was there. Again, what is my point of showing you all these? When we talk about music and spirituality, they are very much interconnected. Without a doubt, they are very much interconnected. And what do they bring for us today? If you look at history, it is not about the history, it is about what it gives and what it does to us in many ways. I pray, let there be an encounter of deeper meaning as you go back to your offices, and let be a start of a mission or higher purpose. Let us end this with one Michael Jackson song. A Michael Jackson song that I know you know, and that we pray that it may be for us in our community. And the words would say, you and I must make a pact. We must bring salvation back. Where there is love, I'll be there. I'll reach out my hand to you. I'll have faith in all that you do. And just call my name, I'll be there. I'll be there to comfort you, build my world of dreams around you. I'm so glad that I found you. I'll be there with a love that's strong. I'll be your strength. I'll keep on holding on. Let me fill your heart with joy and laughter. Togetherness is all I'm after. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. And just call my name, I'll be this point, we come to realize that all that God has given is so good. And at the end of time, He will judge us according to how we have shared our talents. Two things. May you go out the door with three wonderful gifts. The first blessing, I pray for you, good health, that you may be strong, to speak, to stand up, to walk, to defend the poor. Second blessing, goodness, and in your career, may you have more. May you have more financial blessings that you can ever imagine, that you can share even more to those in need. Third blessing, that as you learn, may you experience that love from your families. Families who will understand you, families who will nurture you, families who will support you, families who will bless you with love. Career, good health, blessing. And again, don't forget, music spirituality, without a doubt, it's so connected. But the purpose of this gathering today, 35th it may be, let it be a deepening of knowing your mission. And then as you go, spread that mission. Never give up. Let God be your blessings. And may God bless you all. Good afternoon. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you very much, Father Coching. We're opening the floor for questions. You can either say or sing your questions. Anybody? Yes.
Father, ako po si John Trajano. And ang question ko lang po is we all know na may stand po yung church with regards to secular music. So there are songs like po yung mga kinanta natin na hindi naman po talaga sila tinatanggap ng church, lalo na pag sa Eucharist. So ang gusto ko lang marinig from you is what is your stand on this? Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Good question. The default answer, there's always a default answer. In every diocese, there's a liturgical committee. There's also a priest diocesan liturgist. In every diocese, they also practice different things. The songs that you hear, even the songs of Christian communities brought into the Catholic Mass. May mga songs kasi na it's so hit outside, but they're produced by another kind of church. And you bring it on your charismatic and renewal. There are dioceses who are lenient in many ways. But to be safe, okay, one, consult with your liturgist in the diocese. If they say these are the perimeters, follow it to be safe. But lalo na sa Eucharist, in the Eucharist, it is black and white, follow what is written. But if it's extended community, charismatic, your own Bible Christian group, basically, you can border into pop cultural Christian. Okay yan. Yeah. But to safely answer your question, we follow the right protocol. Consult the diocesan liturgical music ministry. And they have a list of songs and genres that you can play along with. Yeah, but then, if you have something in mind, you can suggest, but if they say no, lipat ka sa ibang simbahan. I mean, other dioceses. Anyway, so that's my best answer.
Any other questions? Song renditions? Okay. Father, thank you. Before we end, during lunchtime, we had a mini game. We encourage everybody to meet somebody new, a new friend. So, and there are prizes for those who met a new friend. So, is there anybody here who would like to introduce a new friend they met? Maganda daw yung prizes eh. 3, 4, 2, 2. Criteria. So, anybody met a new friend? Did we succeed? Yes.
Miss Mila, consultant, and Miss Shabel of the BOD.
Can you say something about Miss Mila?
Before, this is a staff of the project division. Then I introduced myself as over about 9 years as contractually.
Anybody else? We have one? Anybody else? So walang nakipagkilala. Sige, kanya-kanya. Ganon. So, yung ibang prizes for next lunch and learn. So, dapat nandito kayo. Kung wala na mag-introduce. Nobody going? Oh, you don't like the prizes, huh? Going, gone. So hopefully next meeting, next Lunch and Learn will have, you would have met more new friends, made more new friends. Okay, so we're gonna close the session. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much, Father, for giving us those wonderful songs, and that wonderful lecture. Again, Father reminds us to make music is an encounter of deeper meaning, and it's a way of fulfilling our mission of higher purpose. Hopefully today, whenever we hear music, we remember that it is God's revelation speaking to our hearts, and may its melodies move us to action to fulfill our higher purpose and meaning in life. So, thank you very much. Thank you, Father, and we hope to see you in the 45th Lunch and Learn session series. And stand by for the announcements in the email for the next Lunch and Learn series. And see you in the future. Thank you.